Evening everyone, I hope you're well. We had a winner last week. This is the We Love Betting Anytime Notebook. We had a winner, Danny Rose, last week, who scored after 15 minutes for Bury. Good news if you backed him at the 12-5 that we put him up last week. Bad news if you bought his goal minutes at 16, which I did. So we'll try again this week. It looks a pretty difficult coupon to me this week when I'm looking for goal scores. I'm normally looking for games where I think there's going to be a fair few goals. They look in short supply to me this week. Most of the bets I think I'll be having will be going under 2.5. So what I've done is just kind of picked out 3 games or 3 teams that I think stand a decent chance. Just try to look for a goal scorer in each of those, I think. The first side is York, who I think are just about to give a side anytime soon a real pasting. 0 wins, fair few draws, but they scored in every league game. I think key to their goal scoring abilities is going to be the full fitness of Jake Hyde and Wes Fletcher, who are both kind of coming back from injury. I think the moment that those two start together, then they're going to start to put away some of these chances that they seem to be creating in every single game. Wycombe head to York this weekend in decent form themselves, but York are going to do themselves justice, I think, any time soon. So a pretty short price, and I could have chose either Hyde or Fletcher, but I've gone with Fletcher on the basis that he's probably going to be on the penalties, and he's the player that really makes York tick, and they certainly missed him at the back end of last season. So short enough, but 21-10, we'll put up Wes Fletcher for York. Next up into League One, Walsall, who are no wins, another team with no wins we're putting up this weekend, but put a couple of decent away performances. I think at Leyton Orient they drew it at Vale, I think, as well on the opening day of the season. Beat Southend in the cup, and like I said, putting unlucky to not get 3 points against Orient last weekend. I maybe just think that perhaps this Dean Smith side are just better suited to kind of playing on the counter attack away from home, and that's certainly the case as they head to Scunthorpe, who just seem to be kind of not acclimatising as Russ Wilcox would have hoped, I think, in new surroundings in League One. I think both sides kind of don't have a match winner. I suppose you could, apart from Paddy Madden, you could probably say in that bracket. So you kind of look at this game and I think Dean Smith versus Russ Wilcox, and I'm probably going to side on Dean Smith's side. 9 times out of 10, and such is the case. I know that the price has come in a bit this week. The problem we've got, I suppose, if you fancy Walsall, which I do, is lack of options, really. So I'm going to put up Tom Bradshaw, who, for a player that looks like he's leading the line on his own, has made a solid start since his move from Shrewsbury. He scored a couple of goals this season. I think if you're looking for a player to get on the end of one, then I know it's a short enough price, but he does look the most likely, I suppose. 5-2, which gives you a bit of leeway. So we'll put up Tom Bradshaw for Walsall at 5-2. And next off, staying in League One, we'll put up Yeovil, who had a bad start of things. Gary Johnson not too impressed, but brought a lot of players in, and just signs to me that they're just kind of turning the corner. Much better in the performance against Scunthorpe last weekend at home, and they beat Walsall the week before. They host a Barnsley side who are similarly bad start, and they've turned things around. They still look like they're conceding goals though. It took them an hour to come from behind to beat Crewe a couple of weeks ago. Cov scored a couple as well. I don't think they've kept a clean sheet this season. They shipped over 40 on their travels last season as well. Yeovil goal scoring options look a bit short on supply. AJ Lee Smith, who I've got a bit of stick for putting him up at 200-1 at the start of the season, it's getting on the end of chances, just not scoring. And you didn't come here for me to put up a bloke who scored about 2 in a year at 15-8. So we'll avoid him. Bit of confusion as to whether the young lad, whose name is Kiefer Moore, I think, or James Hayter, which one of those two is going to start. So I'm just going to take a little bit of a chance on Kevin Dawson on that right-hand side for Yeovil, who's got off the mark this season, probably found life in the Championship a bit too tough. He's probably a little bit better than that 4 in 40 goal ratio suggests. And from the highlights that I've seen, Barnsley do look, a couple of goals have come from that right-hand side where there looks to be a bit of space. So we'll take a bit of a chance. We'll avoid Yeovil front players and see if Kevin Dawson can get on the end of one at 11-2. So Kevin Dawson 11-2 for Yeovil as they host Barnsley. We'll put up Wes Fletcher 21-10 for York, who look a good thing at home to Wycombe. And where are we going next? Tom Bradshaw for Walsall as they head to Scunthorpe. But whatever you're backing this weekend, be lucky, and I'll see you on the other side.